Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning has been on community organizations that work to make a difference in the lives of those living in Milwaukee County. The Social Development Commission operates numerous programs to improve the quality of life for Milwaukee County's low-income residents. And my next guest is George Hinton, CEO of SDC, and he's here to tell us all about it. How are you, Mr. Hinton?
Oh, I'm great. Great. Thank you for inviting and letting us have an opportunity to talk.
Yeah, it's always good to have you here with us. And SDC has 5 core service areas, including employment, family strengthening, education, training, and support services. So if you would tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Well, I'm the CEO of the agency. The agency is a community action agency, and through its community action work, we provide resources to people who live in poverty with the idea that they would move themselves into a better state than what they're in now. And so we work with families, individuals and families, and also with the infrastructure of our city to try to really help people improve where they are in terms of their economic standing in our community. We're designed in a way where we wrap around individuals and their families for their unique needs.
Yeah, and a great example of just really you being there in the community and for the community. I just spoke with representatives from Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated, and SDC is helping to financially back the big baby shower that they've got going on. So if you would, talk about the importance of really partnering with other organizations and agencies in the city to help make a difference.
Well, the other thing about SDC is we're a commission. We've created to look at poverty and what causes poverty and how do we find ways to actually improve the lives of people through our systems. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you discover that it's a very complex issue that one agency by itself cannot resolve. So we've got to partner. We need to partner with other social service agencies, healthcare industry, the business community. All of us need to work together to change what's going on in our community, not only here in Milwaukee, but across the country.
Yeah, that's the true meaning of it takes a village. And we know that there was the federal eviction moratorium that expired on July 31st. And then just last week, we had the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They renewed the moratorium on evictions of rental housing tenants. So the moratorium will now remain in place through October 3rd, but it's important to make people aware that the Social Development Commission has a Milwaukee Emergency Rent Assistance Program. So you really are helping distribute tens of millions of dollars in federal assistance as part of the COVID-19 relief packages that was passed by Congress. So if you would elaborate on that and how you are able to help people with rent assistance.
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, we had a lot of issues in our community around food security, rent, people actually not able to pay their rent. A lot of people lost their jobs. So SDC kind of like turned and decided, not only are we doing the work that we do every day, but we're going to engage in this crisis relief. So since that time, we've been able to put out about $25 million worth of rent assistance, along with our partner community advocates who put out about the same amount. So together we put out about $50 million. That doesn't mean that solved the issue. There's still thousands of people out there that still need assistance. So SDC is engaged, and we're working with the city of Milwaukee to provide rent assistance for individuals. So what we tell people, if you really want to get help, the best way to do that is to go on our website and start the process of putting together your application and the documentation necessary for you to be reviewed to make sure you qualify for the rent assistance. Mm-hmm. We're also opening up our doors so people can come in who have trouble, who don't have computer equipment. So they can come to our North Avenue site on 17th and North and also get assistance that way as well.
All right, that's great information. And so if someone's watching and they're wondering if they qualify, they do have to go through that paperwork in order to have you look at it to see if they would be able to receive assistance.
Yes, and we've got all that information on our website. If they go to the website, they find exactly what they need to know. about if they qualify. The biggest thing to understand, and I try to help people understand is when I talk to them, it is still COVID related funding. So you have to have a need as a result of COVID related issues. So think about it from that perspective. And then when you contact us, make sure that we understand how it's COVID related, and that goes a long way for you to get approved.
Yeah, and needless to say, this pandemic has affected many people mentally. So, that, along with other factors associated with stress and poverty, have you committed as well to providing mental health and wellness services as well there at SDC?
Yeah, as always, everything we do is integrated. So if we work with you and you have other issues that you want us to work with, or you decide that you want us to work on with you, we will not only provide the other resources that we have, but we will also refer you to and help you understand how to get connected with resources across the city.
Yeah, that's all great information. And you actually have an open house that's coming up very soon. So I want all of the viewers to know about this so they can take part and really take advantage of everything that you have going on there at SDC.
Exactly. August 13th on Friday, we're going to be uh, having an open house for our headquarters on 17th and North. We moved here a couple years ago, but we've really been remodeling the site. When we first moved, we didn't have any windows. So we've got windows, we put flowers. We're really working to be a force for change in our community. As far as the ambiance of our site and what we're trying to do with all the property that we're in. And we also have solar panels on our
Oh,
buildings because we really believe that we've got to start taking care of our planet, and we want to demonstrate that as well. So Friday, August 13th, please come in. We've got some programming, we have giveaways, we have a lot of opportunities. You'll get a chance to hear about and get to any services that you want to as a result of that. And it's going to be a great time. We hope the mayor will come down and help us celebrate the opening. We're going to invite the people to help us build the building, or at least remodel the building, and the people that work with us to get solar panels on our roof. So it's a celebration, but it's a celebration of our community, at least for that site.
yeah.
We have several other sites where we're going to do the openings too, but those are different neighborhoods. That's for this neighborhood.
Okay, and what's the time on that open house?
It's going to be from uh, 9 to 4:30.
Okay, 9 a.m. to 4:30, and that is definitely something to look forward to. And SDC for quite a few years now has always come together and provided a summit on poverty. It's important for people to understand, the cycle of poverty and look for solutions to help bring people out of poverty and break that cycle. So you are working on your 2021 Summit on Poverty, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 21st. And of course, we understand this pandemic has been very unpredictable. So you're looking at possibly going virtual and in person?
Yes, we're planning virtual and in person. Yeah, we're excited. We've got some great speakers that, again, we're going to be pushing this out on our website and also through social media, the different keynote speakers that'll be coming in. They're going to always be flexible because we don't know what the pandemic is going to do in terms of if we should go all virtual or not. But there's going to be a lot of information on our website. So please look at our website. And over the next couple weeks, we're going to start to send out information about our keynote speakers. The other thing that I'm excited about is that we're going to have a annual meeting for the board that day during that week, in which we're going to serve the community dinner and invite you to hear a keynote speaker and maybe just experience what a board meeting for SDC looks like, because it is a public organization.
And I think as we speak, you're probably looking for new commissioners. Am I right? Or is that process going on as we speak?
Well, we just elected our commissioner for the fourth district.
Oh,
That's
okay.
next year in March. We're going to be having elections for two commissioners because every year we've got two commissioners who have to be elected and replaced.
All right.
So it's a transition of our board of commissioners, and it's every March. for April.
Okay. So something for people to keep in mind when they hear about it, they know what that's all about. And I just wanted to mention that you have a long list of services and programs from career services, emergency services, residential services, as well as youth and senior services. And that's just naming a few. So for those people who are interested in finding out more, you of course welcome them to come to your open house, which is coming up on the 13th. And then also they can give you a call or go to your website for more information as well, right?
That is absolutely correct. And we're also excited about the fact that our commission is really going to be engaging in more advocacy and really discussions around those structures and institutions and things that really keep poverty, have a stranglehold on poverty in our community, and what we might need to do going forward to change some of the conditions that we have. So we're excited.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. The website address is cr-sdc.org. And I thank you so much, Mr. Hinton, for stopping by and giving us this great information.
I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. George Hinton is the CEO of the Social Development Commission. Again, you can call 414-906-2700 for more information on anything we've discussed. That is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I do hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues, Milwaukee. Have a great day.